2, 1.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Audit Committee meeting for September 17th, 2024. I'd like to start by calling the meeting to order and start with our land acknowledgement. Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, North America. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island, First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, learn, and live. With that, I'll call for any declarations of conflict of interest. And seeing none, I will call for approval of the agenda this evening. First from Michelle, and do I have a seconder for the agenda? From Shailene, thank you. And so moved. And let's go to the approval of the March 20th, 2024 Audit Committee meeting minutes. Public meeting minutes. Again, looking for a first and a second. Michelle, thank you. Second, can I second? Or Shailene, there's two, thanks so much. And then we'll move into agenda items. Election of Audit Committee Chair, and I will turn it over to Associate Director Wright to lead us through that agenda item, please.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. You'll see from the minutes, including your package this evening, the discussion that took place at the March Public Audit Committee meeting about election for chair. Audit Committee Regulation 361.10 indicates that the chair should be elected at the first Audit Committee meeting in each fiscal year. This being the first Audit Committee in the 2024-2025 fiscal year, we are bringing the item for board member consideration. So I'm going to bring a couple of things to your attention and then pass it back to you, Madam Chair, to lead the discussion. The legislation contemplates a one-year term for chair. Our audit committee has 2-year engagement of trustees into the position, and we have 4 meetings a year generally. We have September, November, February or March, and June. There are 2 meetings left in this year until trustees will, as a board, decide committee placements. And so I'm not sure when the organization meeting is. I believe it's in December. Nope, I'm wrong, it's in November. But there will be this audit committee meeting and one more audit committee meeting before that organization meeting takes place. And so when you are considering who might like to be the chair, there is a real possibility of turnover. Sorry, one more thing I'll highlight. Our chair, Leslie Miller, the 3-year term is up in February. And so potentially there is that turnover as well. So just things I'll put on the table for you, that this is an audit committee member item to discuss. And so Chair, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, David. And allow me to confirm, we are looking to select a new chair this evening or for the first meeting in the new calendar year?
My understanding, Madam Chair, was that it would be an election for this calendar year, or for this fiscal year.
Okay, thanks so much for clarifying that. And with that, I'll open it up to any comments or discussion on the topic as well, or nominations. be interested, or any inquiries about what would be involved in the assuming the role of the committee chair? I'm looking for an interest. Michelle, thank you. Michelle, did you have a comment, or you're interested in putting your name forward as chair?
If we do not have anybody with interest, I will put my name as for chair.
Thank you for that, Michelle. That's great. Do we have anybody else who might be interested? Okay. Seeing none, what the process would be that I think we have a new chair elected as part of the to lead our audit committee from this meeting forward, if I'm understanding correctly, David.
That is my understanding, Madam Chair, and I think by acclamation, there were no other nominations. I think you may consider Trustee Arsenault applying for the position of chair of the committee.
Excellent. So I will congratulate and welcome Trustee Arsenault to the role of Audit Committee Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
I'm just trying to see where we go from here. Because I wasn't really expecting to do this. If I could get some leeway as to what we're doing now.
Yeah. So we would be moving on to the public agenda, or do we need to do any more procedures related to that? Okay.
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so. Thanks, Leslie. Michelle, the next two items are reports that I'll be presenting. And
are those reports, the two reports are for this meeting in camera?
They are. So we've got two reports, and then we'll confirm the next meeting and wrap, and then go to our closed session meeting.
Okay. So I will turn, if there's nothing else, I will turn it over to you, David.
Perfect.
For the reports.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So we have two reports coming forward. The first one, item 7 in your package, is on pages 3 to 6, and this is the annual audit committee report to the Board of Trustees. Based on Regulation 361.10, 2 annual reports are required to be submitted. One to the Board of Trustees that details all of the work of the audit committee over the previous year, and this report is provided to the Board of Trustees for information. So it is included in your package this evening. We do believe it accurately reflects the work of the committee over the previous year. If there are any questions, happy to answer them for you. And if there are no questions, there is a recommendation included as item 8, recommending that the audit committee approve this report to be distributed to the Board of Trustees at their October board meeting. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? Seeing none, can I get a recommendation to bring it to the board? Thank you, Leslie. No. Do we need a seconder for that, or just the one? That's just it for. And thank you, Shailene. Now we move to the second report, David.
You bet, Madam Chair. Can we just confirm everybody's support of that?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. Don't see any.
Can I see everyone's hands for approval? Didn't see that.
I think everybody was in favor, Madam Chair.
Okay, I just didn't see any hands for in favor, so that's why.
You got a check mark, a thumbs up, and one hand raised. So
yes. I'm like, that's not quite everybody, but I get that everybody's in for it. Okay, sorry. If you can give us the next report, David.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is the second of 2 annual reports that the committee is required to pass along based on the audit committee legislation. And this annual report goes to the Ministry of Education. It includes information on specific engagements that were performed over the course of the year, or speaks to which engagements were performed over the previous year with less detail and specificity. It from here goes to the Board of Trustees and then to the Ministry of Education. So if there are no questions, happy to answer questions if there are any. If there are no questions, there are 2 recommended actions or recommendations for approval by the committee. One is that this be presented to the Board of Trustees for approval to be submitted to the Ministry of Education.
Do we have any questions? Seeing none, can I ask for approval? Recommendation. Shailene, and seconded by Leslie. And sorry for the, as a board, sorry, I forgot the wording. Are we all in agreement? Can I see a show of hands? There we go. That looks good. So it looks like it is in favor. And so that will be carried to the board. And you had a second recommendation?
I mentioned both in one go, Madam Chair. There was the report being sent to the Board of Trustees for approval to be sent to the Ministry of Education. So I think you just covered them both with one.
Okay, perfect. And there was anything else we had to do? Sorry, I am.
No problem at all, Madam Chair. The only other thing on the agenda was to seek other business if there was any. If not, confirming the next meeting on November 6th and then adjournment of the public session.
Okay, do we have any other information that anybody needs to bring forward? And as David has said, the next meeting is December 6th, I believe?
November 6th, Madam.
November 6th, sorry. If that looks like that's it, this meeting is now adjourned.